Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another AxieLeeks video featuring me, Zakke. And my animator, also me, since my real animator, ODP, decided to magically disappear. Today's video is gonna teach you about PvE and breeding. Let's start with breeding. Sir, you're using recycled content. Alright, you got me. Anyways, I'm still going to start with PvE, or as it's also called,
Player versus Environment.
What is PvE? What do you get out from it? Is there any strategies? And can you level up? Are some of the questions that I will be answering today regarding PvE. Let's get right into it by asking, what is PvE? PvE is a game mode where you battle monsters and computer-owned characters, unlike PvP, also known as player versus player, which is when you battle against a real-life human being on the other side of a dirty-ass screen. Often, you get rewards for playing PvE, as you do with PvP, and in Axie Infinity, small love potions is that reward. These potions are used to breed your Axies together, so you can build your own Axie arsenal. In Axie Infinity, you go into different ruins, also known as stages, where the difficulty increases as you battle through them all. These stages reward different amounts of EXP and SLP, which is short for Small Love Potion. The higher the ruin, the more rewards you get. Leveling up your Axie will give them stat buffs, approximately around 3%, and their cards will deal more damage, while also giving them more shield. Therefore, it's wise to level up your Axies before entering a high-leveled ruin right away, since your Axies might not be able to sustain the damage output of the monsters, also known as chimeras. As for strategies, there isn't really a one-size-fits-them-all. It all depends on your Axie's abilities and your own playstyle. But some quick beginner's tips would be this. Don't put your healer in front. Put your tank there. And for the love of God, don't use a bird Axie as a tank. Yeah, that's kind of all. Really, you'll have to change and try and repeat to learn the best strategy for your Axies. So now that you've done this to a billion chimeras, and stocked up on some SLP by buying it on Uniswap, since your mom tells you it's past bedtime every single time you try to farm some, what's next, you might ask? Well, here's another little leak for ya. Sponsored by AxieLeeks on Twitter, please follow me, I need friends. It's once again goddamn breeding! To first understand breeding, we have to talk about number 1, genes. You see, for every part an Axie has, it has 3 sets of genes. D, as in dominant, R, as in recessive 1, and R2, as in recessive 2. These genes each have a percentage chance to be passed down to the offspring, D having the biggest chance, and R1 having a smaller chance, and R2 being the smallest, offering only around 3% chance. Luckily enough for us, various community developers have made countless of tools to make it as easy as possible for the average player. One of these tools are the breeding calculator made by Freak. Once again, I love you, Freak. The breeding calculator is a tool that reads your Axie's genes and calculates the chance of you getting a certain part on your offspring. All you have to do is to paste your Axie's IDs in these 2 bars, and that's it. Here in this example, you can see me checking the chance of me getting a Ronin and Imp combo. You can see that the chance of me getting a Rimp Axie is rather high. And at last, a quick tip. If you want to simply just check your Axie's genes, you can paste it alone in one of these bars and all its genes will show up. I've also made sure to include a link to these tools and some add-ons you can install on Google to check genes directly on the Axie marketplace. So that's enough about genes. Let's get into some numbers about how breeding works and how much it costs. As I've previously mentioned, SLP is the currency for breeding. You can't get laid without having some of this, just like IRL. Anyways, the quickest way to get SLP is honestly by buying it from other players that are selling it on Uniswap, which is kind of like a decentralized pool where people can sell their SLP for ETH and buy SLP using ETH. And once you've done that, we're on our way to finally pick our 2 lovebirds that are going to ruffle some feathers. But first, we need to talk about the costs of breeding. As you know, an Axie can only be bred 7 times, and with each time the cost gets higher. The cost for breeding 2 Axies is calculated by adding the cost of 2 individual Axies together, and that's it. A virgin Axie, meaning it has been bred 0 times, costs 100 SLP to breed with. That means if you were to breed 2 virgin Axies, the cost would be 200 SLP. Here's a picture showing the costs for each Axie at X amounts of breeds. Remember, this is the price per Axie, so you have to add them together. This means that breeding 2 Axies with 7 out of 7 breeds together will cost 4,200 SLP. And that's a lot. Now that you've got all of this down, it's finally time to press breed. Currently playing is a video of me picking 2 Axies that I want to breed together. It's as simple as pressing one Axie, then pressing breed, then choosing the other lucky Axie and confirming the transaction. A breed also costs like 50 cents, but that's totally worth it. Now, waiting. You see, it doesn't just take 1 second to grow and hatch an Axie, it actually takes 5 days for it to become a fully grown adult. Between it being a larva and a petite, you will have to make a transaction on MetaMask once again. This time it will reveal the offspring's parts, but it will not yet be ready to battle. After 2 more days of being petite, it is now ready to become an adult and go out to fight in the world of Lunasia.